Okay. I'm so
There we
sorry,
go.
Jane. I missed yours.
No, that's okay. And
Oh,
I forgot. I
okay.
totally forgot to share the moment.
Okay.
That's
So
okay.
late to be recording, but dag
Yeah,
nabbit. Okay. So
that's
Margaret,
okay.
real quick, if you want to kind of go over this.
Yeah. So my thing is, so I've been feeling a lot of resistance around, like, I advertised the shit out of my grieving blueprint course. I'm totally positioned it as making it through the holidays, getting support, figuring it out. I had like 2 emails a day going out to my network. I was posting on social media, like it was out there. Bumpkiss, not one person registered. And then it was like I wasn't getting through, like it just, everything was feeling off and everything was feeling like I'm like, so I was like, okay, universe, what are you trying to tell me? Like, what's going on?
Mhm,
So yesterday I was at the circle because we run a women's circle last Sunday of every month.
mhm,
And the two women there did Reiki because I screwed up my knee. I don't know what I did, but it just hurts. So they did Reiki on it. And apparently, right, my knee indicates it's a right knee. If you look at what does every part of your body when you get sick indicates a certain kind of emotional attachment. So it was my fear of stepping forward, right? And so Karen channels and she touched my head and she started giggling. I said, "What's funny?" She's like, "Well, I see you standing in front of a revolving door where it's not going really fast, but it's going, but there's so many opportunities and options. And you go, oh, no, not quite. Oh, maybe not this one. Oh," and she's like, "So you're ready to step forward, but you're not." She goes, "You need to take one and commit to it." I realized that as much as I love to work in grief, and I think it's a really helpful thing, I'm going to change my positioning with that, because what I really love to do with the women is to take them beyond their grief. It's like, you are here. I want to take you beyond. And I realize it's because I've healed my own. I was coaching women in grief because that's where I was needing to be. And now I'm moving forward. So can I read you something and then I'll be done? Because
please. Yep.
I was with Michelle, actually. I spoke with her on Friday. You know, Michelle from
Yeah.
there. She's in New Zealand right now.
Mhm.
So we've been going back and forth, and I'm like, "What do you think of this?" So it's similar yet slightly different to what I'm doing, but it really puts me in a little bit better position. So I'm going to slightly shift my marketing. So my new statement, and I need to put it into ChatGPT and unclunk it, is empowering professional women who have suffered grief and trauma and are ready to move beyond the confines of their grief by rediscovering who they are now so they can live a life of joy and passion fully aligned to who they have now become.
Oh, beautiful.
Awesome.
It is. It's gorgeous.
And when I do that, my energy just lifts. So I think what the universe was saying to me was, you're done with that part. You need to move forward and step into sort of that next step. So that's where my shift is, and that's where I'm going to be coming out with moving forward. So it's not that I won't, because we're still going to have to dig into grief when I have them. Like, they're going to do the grief assessment to figure out how much do they still need to work through. But our
Mhm.
focus is going to be on how can I help you move forward. And my Empower Awakening program that I created with Debbie back in January, and I run two people through it. It's all about moving forward. And I didn't realize that. I did, but I didn't. And I was excited about it. And I kept looking at, like, oh, there's all these really fun things, but I don't know if people in the throes of grief are ready for this. But
Mhm.
I'll tell you. So that's a big shift that I've experienced over the last week and a half, and especially yesterday when I got it smacked in my head. So yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So
I'll add something too that you and I
yeah,
did. We were talking about during the interview, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
podcast interview. And you said it yourself that when somebody's in grief, or if somebody knows somebody that's grieving, they kind of stay away.
yeah. Yeah, they're
So
not
if
ready to talk about it. They're
and neither
afraid.
neither is the person that's experiencing the grief. So when they see stuff about their grief, like, yeah, I know
Yeah,
I'm in beautiful downtown grief. I don't want to hear about it
yeah,
anymore. They want to hear about how the hell they're going to get out of this.
yeah, yeah. And
So
that's where I think the shift needs to be for me. And I remember Debbie
beautiful.
saying to me, and then I'm done. She said, "I don't see you as a grief coach." She said, "You have too much high energy and you're too into the joyful side of things. I don't see you as a grief person." And it
Mhm.
it resonated with me because I'm like, I always want to be finding the optimistic, joyful side of life, and I want to be helping them do that.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm
Yeah.
at. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Thank you.
maybe, and I'll just add one more quick thing too, is if you're speaking about the joy you have now, despite what you've
Hmm.
gone through, and keep sharing that part of your story,
Hmm.
right?
Mhm.
They'll see you as this joyful, high energy person.
Yeah.
And then when they hear the story and go, well, crikey, if she can do that,
Mhm.
maybe there's hope for me
Hmm.
too,
Yeah.
right?
Thanks,
That,
guys.
that's really good, Margaret. I love that because as soon as you said that, I kept thinking, what's next? Like
Hmm.
we're there, but what's next? And when my grandson's father died, he was was he 18, 7? No, he was 17.
Mm.
And, everybody's worried about her. She has three boys. And he said, well, Grandma, it's done. It's past. There's nothing I can do about it. And I went,
Hmm.
okay, that's how
That's where he's at. Yeah.
that's what he said at the time. Now, he also had a girlfriend going walking him through the 7 layers of grief. They were in their own world doing their own thing. But from his point of view, it's like, it's done, it's over. I can't do anything about it.
Mm.
And I thought, okay, that was his perspective at the time. And then, of course, we're all worried about how they're going to grieve and how they're going to handle it and whatnot. But that just came to me when you said that. Okay, in his mind, it's like that was the event.
Hmm.
What's next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, how am I going to handle the entire life? He's not dwelling on that, but he knows that there's things.
Hmm. Yeah.
What is next? So.
Yeah. And that's exactly the question that came up yesterday is like, what's next? Who am I now? Like, I've changed since I've experienced this grief, but who am I? Now I'm a
Yeah.
widow
Mm-hmm.
and I have all this freedom to do all these things that I've never maybe done, or there's these opportunities, but then we feel guilty for wanting to have those opportunities. So I can speak to that till the cows come home. And it's interesting because if I go back to some of my messaging in my newsletters, that's kind of the messaging I've been putting out there anyway. But
Okay.
now I'm going to be more definitive. So anyway,
Okay.
I'm done. Move on.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
That's
Okay.
good. That's good, Margaret. Good, thanks.
Fabulous. Okay, Brenda Lynn. So, okay, so we got your word, we got your number, and so what has happened over the last 2 weeks? How did you make out?
Well, I learned a new program and it's called Scrivener. It's a writing platform. So it's it's a big learning curve for me because I'm used to just using Word and it's something that Rusty recommended that I do. So I'm trying to import my chapters that way. So what I'm doing is I'm using Otter AI. Sorry, my internet's not very stable. I'm
Same
using
with me.
Otter
That's why
AI.
I'm closing a bunch of stuff right now. Go ahead.
So Otter AI to transcribe what I have handwritten, because I have everything's just handwritten. There's nothing typed in my computer. So I'm transcribing it through Otter AI and then popping it into a document into Scrivener. So it's going to take a lot of work that way. But I did that and created this storyboard and I pumped out 2 good chapters.
Oh, awesome. Wow.
And to create a template in Scrivener and not Scrivener. I thought it was Scrivener, but it's Scrivener.
Scrivener.
Um,
Oh, okay.
but it's a learning curve, huge learning curve. Like I'm worried about losing my work, so I'm like, "Ooh, I don't want to lose it." But it's all written anyway, so
Mhm.
like a lot of my stuff is written in a binder and stuff. So
Mhm.
um, it's just committing those hours every day, like you said, Jane. That I said, 120 hours in three. Like I don't know that that's going to be the full outcome, but I'm getting there, and I need to dedicate daily time, like you said. So yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at where's yours now. Okay, so you're sticking then to the 120 hours of dedicated work, 120 days from now. So we're good with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And were you able to include Pomodoro?
No, I was not, but I was in a state week this weekend with Rusty for prompt writing, so my whole weekend was done. But I suppose I could have focused on my book with that, but it's more of a retreat style.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just had fun with it. It was so, and using my calendar to, jot in those times, and I'm going to do that. I also made I don't know if any of you have Debbie's new calendar,
I do.
new
I
agenda.
haven't used it
I
yet.
do. I just haven't started it yet.
Yeah, same. Oh, cool.
I made my November board,
Amazing.
and it's probably carried on through December, but I'm trying to really utilize this
Yeah.
and make myself more accountable. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so that's what I have going on.
Fabulous. And then what are you prepared to do over the next 2 weeks?
Sure, I'm doing my time to like getting that time into my agenda, specifically like 7 till 9 or whatever times work for me throughout the day. I work best in the morning, so
Mhm.
and just really dig down deep and get into it,
Mhm.
into the writing.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have a lot written already. It just needs to I need to get it onto my Scrivener.
Okay. So really, you're going to be spending a lot of the time then in the next 2 weeks just porting stuff over to Scrivener.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let me just have a quick look here just to see any movement on creating a B and C space to write. You've got the coach house.
Well, we have the
Coffee.
coach house, yeah, and I haven't gone to a coffee shop or anything like that. I'm too distracted by going to a public place. Like I wouldn't get
Oh,
anything done. I'd
wow.
be too busy. People.
You know
I know.
Oh my God.
I tried that too, Brenda. I went to a coffee shop and I couldn't work, and I ended up going to the library. And the library was because there was still, I mean, they have tables, and I thought, oh, I have bought a coffee, like I had bought a coffee and sat down, and there was so much chaos. And so I took my coffee. I thought, I don't know if they'll allow me to bring my coffee in the library, but they did. There was somebody there with his coffee and his breakfast bagel,
Mhm.
and there was still some noise, but it was quieter. And I thought,
Mhm.
and I could bring my own coffee. I don't even need to buy a coffee. So
That's a
anyway,
great
just offering
suggestion.
that.
Great
I've done both.
suggestion.
Have
Yeah.
you?
Done
Library.
both, Brendolyn. I've done both. I can work no problem in the coffee shop. I love the ambient noise and I can just focus. But I've also done the library, and at our library they have small rooms that you can rent, but you don't have to pay for them unless you want to use them back to back to back to back to back. So I call ahead and I go, "Do you have a space this afternoon for me for a few hours?" And they're like, "Yep." So if there's rooms too, you can get quiet rooms at the library as well.
Mhm.
That's
Actually,
cool. I didn't
yeah, I'm
know
glad
that.
you brought that up. I
Also,
just realized there's
Mhm.
spaces at Diamond. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, there's spaces at Diamond?
Sure,
Oh.
there's
What's diamond?
Diamond, Dymon. It's we have storage there. It's right here in Etobicoke. Huge space,
Mhm.
and they have office space and that kind of thing, as well as
Oh.
boardrooms. I have up to I think 16 hours of boardroom time included with the storage that we have, because we have storage for the wine business, and then we've got storage because we decluttered here and moved a bunch of stuff up there. But they'll also rent spaces if you don't have storage there. I don't know what their
Right.
rates are, but it's
Cool.
included. Yeah. I know in
We have
Ottawa,
one right up the street from us,
yeah,
like literally 2 minutes.
their
Because I've been
boardrooms,
thinking about,
yeah,
yeah. Okay,
their
that's
boardrooms
cool.
available there. Yeah. Look into it, see how much they charge.
Hmm. Thank you.
And yeah. Yeah. So anyways, and they have like little pods that you can just drop in. If it's available, you drop in and just take it. So
Hmm.
anyways, I don't
That's
know if
awesome.
that's if there's anything like that in your area, Brenda Lynn, but maybe
To
not.
my
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Were you saying something? And I think we're getting choppy, right? Is my internet choppy as well?
No.
No? Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I feel
Oh,
like I'm
it's just
cutting in and out.
cold
Go ahead. Go ahead, Brenda Lynn. I'm sorry.
in the barn, and it's costly to heat it up that big room just for me to go up there for a couple of hours. So
Right.
I think I'll take up your advice and try the library just to get out and get get out of my she shed,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
Take my
Hmm.
binder, spread things out,
Yep.
see what resources they have there as well. So
Yep.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that was the problem with me in the library. Like my desk here is covered with, like, it's like I have
mhm.
shit everywhere. Like I spread out, like, and I use the floor too. Like I've got all
Mhm.
piles
Oh,
of stuff
me
on the
too.
floor. It's like
Yeah.
my brain is very cluttered.
Mm. I just cleaned off my entire desk 2 weekends ago, and I'm back to like piles, and I wanted to remove the piles because then I can think better. Now the piles make me distracted. So
That's
I
right.
hear you.
Yeah.
Actually, before we actually got it ready and staged and stuff, my piles had piles.
Hmm.
It
It's
was
Baby,
organized chaos.
baby.
Organized chaos.
seriously, it was organized chaos. That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Okay, Carol,
um,
your turn.
alrighty.
Sorry.
I just want to make
Sorry,
sure that,
Brenda
so
was
are you
next.
complete, Brenda Lynn? You're good? Dear. Okay. All right. So, let me go back over mine here because what I've done in the last 2 weeks, I did the outreach, but I didn't do anywhere near what I was tasked to do in another mastermind, and that was 20 per day. I don't even
Hmm.
have my list wasn't, but I did add to my list. I started looking at it more intentionally and go, okay. So, and when I did the outreach, I did a couple of video messages and one came back right away and said, yeah, happy to help whatever way I can. So I've shifted my coaching a little bit. I'm combining the 15 plus years that I have in construction technology with my coaching. And I'm looking at creating a program that would have mature workers in construction that are about to retire or have just retired and put them in advisory type positions, mentoring positions, so they can mentor the younger workers, and that because they leave with all this legacy knowledge, and then
Hmm.
the younger workers are reinventing the wheel and maybe not necessarily doing it in the most efficient way. And I don't know if any of you realize this, but there's a very high rate of suicide in construction.
Really?
The pressure is the pressure is real. They have,
Wow.
yeah, and meeting budget, timelines, that kind of stuff. They're dealing with nature, they're dealing with permits, they're dealing with
Hmm.
other outside circumstances where they might not necessarily have. And it just goes on and on and on, and it just never stops. So the mature workers have some legacy knowledge in dealing with that, as well as other things, obviously practical nuts and bolts stuff. I can come in with the mindset stuff. And for the younger workers, a lot of them get promoted into positions, but they don't get any leadership training.
Mm.
So again, that I'm looking to bridge the gaps on some things that I've witnessed in construction technology. So that's part of my outreach. And what I've done is that there was a list that was provided by Tina and the team that was how'd you reach out, blah, 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 that kind of thing, and a date and everything else. And it's actually very cool. It's a makeshift CRM, if you will. But I added another column and to show what industry they're in, because I want to be able to start going through and go, okay, here's my construction list, throw a Pomodoro on. And that's what I'm prepared to do over the next 2 weeks, is just doing it that way. So I was sort of indiscriminately like reaching out and not necessarily keeping track. So that's something that I noticed. I went, hang on a second. That's a message. That's a conversation. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself in terms of, oh my gosh, I can't reach out. And I was, from a mindset and emotional standpoint, I had a bit of a meltdown, because it was like, there's no way I'm doing this. Like, and even in one of the mindsets things, I can't remember what the question was. And I wrote in the chat, and I was like, well, right now I'm wondering if Home Depot's hiring, because I don't want to do this shit anymore. Like you just kind of like, you can feel your eyes glazing over and go, what am I doing here? But it was really, but the thing with outreach, and I think this is for everybody, is you're just getting into a conversation. That's all it is. So then when I went back and I had a look at some of the messages that I had in LinkedIn, it was like, that's a conversation. That counts. I mean, my little system is 20 paper clips, and I'm transferring them into the jar every time I do an outreach. And so, it was a big aha, but it's also the same issue that keeps coming up. So Margaret, when you were talking about imposter syndrome, I was the poster child. Seriously. I mean, I thought for the longest time, I thought, man, you look up imposter syndrome in the dictionary and my picture's there. Like that's, it's just, it's debilitating, and it can be if I allow it. But here's the thing, is there's this saying that says, new level, new devil. As we up level our game, as we keep pushing ourselves to do more, the old paradigm is going to come back and claw at you to bring you back to where you were. That's the brain's way of trying to protect you. You're going into the unknown. You're going into the wild, and your brain's going, no, 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 no. Like this is not safe. It's unknown. And so it's a question of being able to calm it and go, I got this. We've done stuff that felt unsafe lots of times, and we've worked through it. So, it's giving yourself a little bit of grace and time to, yeah. And so, if you have the meditation, by all means, share it in the 333. Is that what I saw?
I just put it in there. Yeah.
Okay.
I discovered this woman named June B a couple weeks ago. She's awesome. She's British with I think a little bit of a Jamaican accent in there too, but she's got such energy. And I listened to this. It's like 10 minutes. You put it on and she's just so like, and the energy and the music and everything.
Nice.
And it's all about like, I am powerful, I'm resilient, I am strong, I am worthy. And it's all those things. And it's really, I listen to it and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And by the end, and so listening to that right before you go into your outreach would be a really great thing, right? It's like,
beautiful.
Let's bring that energy up. So I thought I would share it there. I can put
And
it
what's
in
her
the
name?
333. June B. June, June B. And you can get this link off of YouTube. I found it on my Insight Timer Meditations, and then I immediately went and looked at her up on YouTube, because I'm like, if I can get this in this and share it with as many people, it's like awesome. I love it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so so that's it was the outreach that I did, the video message. I do the market research. Oh, I created a talk because I had a talk with the organization Uzima Women
How did that go?
International. It was great, actually. It was a lot of fun, and I don't know if I mentioned they paid me an honorarium, which was amazing. Like, go figure. Like,
Good.
I know it. Anyways, it went really, really well. So I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that talk and create a free workshop. That's what's going on in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to put on a free workshop in creating a killer 2025, and ditch the resolution for a roadmap. And so with that, the call to action then will be whatever I have in my value ladder, right? They can either join Badass Coaching, or if they want to really get serious and do fast and furious, get into thinking into results for the first 12 weeks of 2025, or, and I include vision board workshops, that kind of thing. So I'm going to be talking about all of those things as a call to action that, hey, you can take whatever's in the workshop and that will help you. But if you wanted to take it one step further, here's some other options you might want to support you. And just, and the other approach I'm going to be taking with the workshop as well is letting them know that there is going to be a call to action at the end of this. Whatever is coming up, they can use it. I'll have a workbook and everything. They can use it as is, but know that, yeah, there is going to be additional stuff that if they're interested and they're committed to investing in themselves, there are a number of options that will support them in creating this killer year for themselves. So anyway, so that's what's going on for the next in the next 2 weeks. I know the last time I said I was, get my car and that kind of stuff. So my car is all ready to go. It just needs to be detailed. And of course, we've been driving it all weekend. I'm just falling more and more in love with it. But here's the thing that's really interesting. When I took it to the dealership, the tech saying, "Are you interested in selling it?" He didn't come up, but apparently, and I didn't realize this, but my car is pretty unusual. Like, because it's a touring, it's a station wagon. Like, it's a mom car. It don't drive like a mom car. I'm surprised I haven't got more speeding tickets, to be honest. Cancel. But that's why he was interested in it. So I thought, okay, you know what? Then that gave me a better idea of what to list it for. So I had to get the brakes done and, the battery changed, that kind of thing. But now it's going to be getting it detailed. I can get that done right around the corner and I'll be able to list it right after that. So that'll be part of that cash infusion. I have a program called groove.cm. I purchased a lifetime license of this. Okay. Website, email. It's got everything in it, but I haven't been using it. I don't know why. I thought, oh, well, it's too complicated, a learning curve, but it's not really. It's just that I was trying to do everything all at once. So my focus is to be able to reduce costs. So I'm going to use the tools that I have in Groove, and I started doing some work on that to replace the website, and the email. So I haven't done any emails now for a few weeks. I'm trying to what's the word? Kind of
integrate.
I'm trying to integrate, and I'm trying to I don't want to be doing it in the one that I'm paying for right now, because I want to be able to start the templates and get that going in Groove. I'm using Podia right now and I want to get away from that. It's too limited. So
what if you Pomodoro it?
I could. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Excellent. Pomodoro, okay. Pomodoro, the Groove work. Yeah. Yeah, because it is a big nut to crack. And I need to prioritize, which do I want first? Email is what I want first. And speaking of which, the other company that I have, Grand Cru Gourmet, I don't know if I've spoken to you guys about this. Okay, so I also have a number of affiliate accounts with Grand Cru. And so I've been getting these emails from AWIN, which is the affiliate company, on a course called Yes Chef, and Jamie Oliver is on it and that kind of thing. Anyway, so I'm going to in the next 2 weeks now. That's what I was doing just before we started the call. Actually, is building that list in Groove, transporting it. I didn't even realize I have almost 400 names subscribed on my Shopify site for Grand Cru Gourmet. And I haven't touched it. Right? So now AWIN is sending information on a Black Friday sale that's going on with Yes Chef. So I'll use that to kind of cut my teeth in Groove with the Grand Cru Gourmet mailing and see what comes of it. But at least it's, it might be, I have no idea what kind of, I don't even know what the percentage is for the affiliate, but it's really just I'm going to test it out that way. So that's what I'm working on in the next couple of weeks. Oh, and I also connected to HubSpot. That's what I did these past 2 weeks to the CRM. I want a system that I can just kind of get in, go, okay, here are the 20 people I'm going to contact today. And these are the conversations I'm going to keep going. So that's,
Amazing.
yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool.
That's it.
Cool, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
So
any
does
other,
anybody have any like Black Friday sale stuff going on that we need to know about? No? Okay, I have one. I'm going to
Oh,
share.
cool.
I have because you guys know I love to read tarot and oracle cards. I have a 2-for-1 deal. So you can buy one tarot reading and you get 2. So if you and a friend or you as a stocking stuffer. So if you're into that, I've got that covered for you for Christmas
And what
season.
do they go for, Margaret?
So,
What's the cost?
30, so 50, 75, or 100. So 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour.
30 minutes.
Yep.
30 minutes.
30 minutes for $50.
Okay. 30.
45 for 75.
Yeah.
Here I can draw, and then 60 minutes for 100. And so if you buy one, you actually get 2. And if you want, I can pop I'll drop the link to the landing page and you guys can go check it out. I'll put it in the 333 Mastermind.
Yes,
so you guys
please
can
do.
find it there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when you're putting in the chat, and I moved thank you very much for the vision board. I moved it to the actual 333 Mastermind because there's only so many of us on it. Dee is actually going to be joining our group.
Nice.
By the way, yeah, she wasn't able to get in this morning, but I'll have a separate meeting with her to set up her 333 statement, and then she can just hit the ground running with us.
Are we open to invite anybody to this? Or do you want, because my business partner, Leah, I told her about it and she thought it might be interesting. Or do you want to keep it just to our group? It's okay.
I wouldn't mind doing this kind of like as a beta, to be honest, because I'm thinking I might actually put this in the membership. I think this is I think it's a valuable, I don't know. I mean, please share your thoughts with me, but I wanted it to be free as we're trying it out, and I just wanted to kind of have it with a group that we already know.
No, that's totally cool.
If that's
totally
okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Yeah. Because as I refine it, then, and if it's, a separate product, if you will, that's part of Badass Coaching, then I think that it becomes more of a magnet, right? For members
100%.
to get members in. So,
good.
Okay. But yeah, if you want, and when you're putting in the chat, if you're putting the link in the chat, you can pick the category. And I've added a 333 category.
You have.
In
okay.
there.
Because I went looking for that before and I couldn't find it. That's why it went into the general. So that's okay.
I didn't have it there. Yeah.
I will do that.
Okay. Yeah. So, I think that's it. Did I have anything else that I wanted to tell you guys? Oh, no, let's, to close it out. What's your word now after meeting?
Oh,
excited.
Awesome.
Inspired.
That was Jane that said inspired.
Here.
No,
Clear.
still me.
I'm not foggy and I'm clearing and now I'm cleared. I've cleared the slate, ready to go.
Okay. So who was inspired? Was that?
Me. I
Oh,
said 2 words. I was
oh, you
excited
said
and inspired.
excited. Did you say
Yeah.
excited? Okay.
Yeah, and inspired. I was 2 words. I'm not just one. I'm
Okay.
very, very complicated.
Okay. So Jane is clear
Cleared.
and Brenda Lynn.
I'm still inspired.
Awesome. Okay.
What
And
about you, Carol?
pumped.
Pumped.
That's the first word that came to me. All right, ladies. All right. Well,
Well, the
happy
word that came
Monday.
to me was like,
What's
fuck
that?
yeah. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Fuck yeah. Love it.
That's it. Roy Kent.
Break it.
Fuck. On that happy
All right.
note,
Yes.
have an amazing
So,
week. We
2
will see you
2
in
weeks, right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, some of you tomorrow morning. All
Okay.
right.
All right.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
Have an awesome
guys. Have a
time.
great couple
Thanks.
weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.